What's up, people? I'm Carlo. Today's video is about my Ursa and the rig that I have for it, some of the accessories. I'll be going over some of the prices for them, where I place them on the camera, and yeah, you'll be able to see what my cinema camera looks like. In the description I will put links to each of the individual accessories for you guys to check out if you like. So yeah, let's get started with the first piece of gear that will be built on top of this right here. The first accessory I bought for this camera is, of course, a battery. I don't think this would work without this. I mean, it does have a 12 volt, but you do need this. This is a V-mount battery. I bought it off Amazon for about $149. This in particular one is the BP190 model. It is a little bit thicker and it is pretty heavy. So considering the build, the battery itself is fairly heavy, so it adds a bunch of weight to the camera already. I know the 190 stands for watts hour. I'm not too sure what that means, but I know that this battery lasts pretty much about 3.5 to 4 hours for me, so it's pretty good. It's just a little bulky and heavy, and to charge it you could do either USB or D-tap. So overall this battery is good. It lasts me a long time. The only negative I have to it, it is bulky and heavy, but they do make slimmer models, which I'm probably going to get soon. The only downfall is they don't last as long, but it will save my back and wrist some headaches. The second accessory I bought for this camera, which also makes it usable, is this, a lens. I opted to buy the Sigma 2470 2.8. The reason why I bought this lens is because I thought it was the most versatile. I own a bunch of Sony gear and none of those really work with this camera, which is an EF mount lens. So I could only really buy one lens, and I thought this was the perfect lens to give me that kind of wide feel and tight, for the 24 for being wide and 70 being tight, and to get down to 2.8 is pretty good. Bought this on B&H for about $1,100, brand new. I'd say that's fairly affordable, especially considering Canon glass and Sony glass for the 2470 is quite a bit more expensive. This is a bulky lens. It does feel really good. It doesn't feel cheap. I keep it on manual focus the whole time, and the manual focus ring is smooth. And it does have a stop and start endpoint. Unlike my Sony lenses, they kind of just run in infinity. This lens is nice because it tells you when you kind of hit that breaking point. I also bought a UV filter. It was about 50 bucks or so. My main purpose for a UV filter is to protect the main glass of the lens. So to put the lens on the camera, first thing is to press this silver button and twist to the right. Open this up, you'll see that there's a red dot right here. Take your lens cap off. For Sigma, it's a white dot, but if you line it up and twist to the left, or right if you're facing this way, you'll hear it click and lock into place. So yeah, this is a great lens. It's a 2470 2.8 Sigma. It's perfect for wide and tight. It's got a very kind of neutral look to it, and it's a bit heavy as well. That's the only negative I have to it. Third accessory that I thought was crucial for this build was the top plate, the SmallRig cheese mount here. It's got a boatload of ways for you to add accessories on top of this. To install the top plate right here onto the Ursa, just place it onto the top rail where you see the 4 holes. The top plate only has 3, so you're going to find the kind of 3. What I did was the bottom one, the next one, and the next one. I left the top one without a screw, but you're just going to put the nut in there, screw it with an Allen key, just a little bit, not all the way tight. I do back one, top one, and then middle. Also just make sure it's straight. So now you can tighten each and every one of them as tight as you want, but don't overdo it because you might have to take it off someday, and sometimes it can get really hard. Alright, so that's on, and we're good. It's not going anywhere. The SmallRig Top Plate was listed around $39 or so. I bought it off of Amazon. And the fourth accessory goes along with this one. It is the side plate by SmallRig. It comes with a Rosette attachment to it. This one was listed at about $49, I believe. To install the side plate, you have to find the center hole that's right here, and line that up with the center hole of the Rosette right there. So let's line that up. A little bit more of a squeeze. Alright, so now the side plate is on, and the top mount is on as well. We have the lens and the battery. So now this camera is pretty much technically ready to go. You could use this camera and it will give you a beautiful image. Everything else that I'm going to add is pretty much for better accessibility and better usage, because using this camera right now would be great on a tripod, but using this handheld, you wouldn't really have a great way of holding it. So the next accessory that I bought was the top handle. This is by SmallRig as well. I bought this on Amazon for about $49 or so. And this is the Nato rail version. So on the top cheese plate, you'll see in the front right here is the Nato rail right here. So you just place that on top. I place it right in the middle, and you just tighten it as much as you can. And now you have a top handle. Better for handheld movements, or you could attach an easy rig to the top handle right here. The next accessory to go on the side, which is also better for handheld or just holding it in general, is the SmallRig grip right here. I got the wooden version, and this one ran about $85.99 or so, so it is a bit pricier, but I do notice even when I'm a little bit sweaty or so, I don't really lose grip on this. The wood is a really nice look, and the Rosette is very strong, so it doesn't really slip very much. To install the SmallRig side handle right here, the side grip, first thing you gotta do is place the first Rosette ring on the back right here, and you're gonna line it up with the other Rosette on the side plate right here. Okay, and then as you'll see here that there's like a little ring that you could twist. That will help you tighten the handle. So you're just going to twist. And you'll see that there are little grooves in both of the Rosettes. So make sure that those line up perfectly so it's as flush as you can. And I like to lean the grip back a little bit before I'm at the final point of tightening. So I'll tighten it as much as I can with my hands. And then I'll kind of crank it forward a little bit, and then that's how you get it to be really tight. So that's my grip. It kind of leans forward a little bit. I have the top handle here, so now I have full handheld capabilities. So the final accessories I have for this camera are the monitor and the articulating arm that holds the monitor onto the camera. Of course, I have the SDI cables that go onto the monitor and the camera. This is the Axler 7-inch articulating arm. Bought this for about $39 on Amazon. And to put this on the camera for me, with the top handle right here was the best option. So I'm going to slide this into the hot shoe mount. Okay, as tight as it's going to go. Not going anywhere. I'm going to leave this pointing straight up so I can mount this monitor. This is the Blackmagic Video Assist 5-inch monitor. It outputs 1080p. You can input your own LUTs to it via SD card. It's got 2 HDMI in, one out, and one SDI mini in, SDI mini out. And I was actually gifted this. Well, not really gifted, but traded for manual labor. I did some work and I got video equipment, and this was part of it. So thank you, John. This monitor is great. It is very bright, especially in the outdoors. The quality is good enough for me to see. I don't really use the monitor for any false color or stuff like that right now. For me, it's mostly to better see focus and kind of see what I'm doing. The batteries that this monitor uses are the typical Canon batteries, the LP E6N batteries, I believe. 2 of them right here. So it is fairly heavy, but it is good. The menu navigation is fairly easy. So overall, I'd say it does its job for me in particular, where I just want to see better focus and kind of see what I'm doing a little bit better. And so I could add a LUT as well, so I'm not looking at log footage while I'm filming. So the way I put this onto the articulating arm, I put it upside down. I put it onto the top because I will flip this over, so it will land right here. So I'm going to put it into the middle and safely twist it so it can't no more. And then I'm going to bring this down to right here. And then it stays. You now have a monitor right here. It does not bash with this monitor as well. It's actually kind of nice to have this one and this one. This one's good for the menu system, and this one is good for your viewing experience, for your cinematic journeys. To connect the monitor to this camera is via mini SDI to SDI. So you're going to connect the mini SDI to the SDI input right here onto the monitor. Okay. Lift and twist. And then, so what I do, considering it's very long, I just kind of wrap it around the top plate or the top handle a little bit. I know it's not the probably best option, but it works for me. And I do it just enough so it gives me enough room to get back here and it's not too tight on the cable back here. But what you're gonna do is lift this kind of hood right here that is not connected to the black piece or the middle piece. You're gonna lift that to connect it in and twist as well. Sometimes it's a little tricky. Okay. And then once you twist it in, you'll hear it lock in place and it is not getting out anytime soon. So this is my Blackmagic Ursa build. It is fairly simple. There's nothing crazy about it. I don't plan on getting anything much more anytime soon. Maybe a slimmer battery and a couple lenses here and there. Hopefully if all goes well and we have jobs after this. Yes, we will. We will. So to summarize all the accessories that I have, first I have the Sigma 24/7 2.8. I have the Blackmagic Video Assist 5-inch monitor, outputs 1080p, the SDI cables, the Axler 7-inch articulating arm, a bunch of SmallRig accessories, the top handle right here, the top plate cheese mount, the side plate with the Rosette attachment, and a side grip here, the wooden version. I also have a V-mount battery to work this camera. I also have 128GB CFast cards. I'd recommend getting a little bit bigger than this, but this does do its job. I do have 2 of them. If I did have 1, that would not work. You do need 2, probably 4 or 8. Just probably get like a terabyte or something. They're expensive though, so I only got this for now. That's my build for my Ursa Mini Pro. Hopefully you got something out of it and found something useful. Make sure you comment below, let me know what you think of it. Hit the like button and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I'm coming out with new stuff all the time, whether it's films I'm shooting with this or some fun stuff like this, I guess. So thank you very much. Have a good day. Be safe. See you later.